So do you see that one needs to be in the state of desperation to reach that level of seriousness that you talked about? And a few will probably emerge from there. But are we at that state that maybe this public desperation, a few people will emerge and head in that seriousness direction that you talk about?
It's a good question. I think that life-threatening events and, very serious things in one's life oftentimes do have that impact on some people. It doesn't happen en masse. No, absolutely not. That's never going to happen. I mean, the second coming could happen every single day for next week, and that wouldn't happen. It's not going to happen. So, but there are those who are always sort of on the verge of that, on the cusp of that, and they're actually ripe for becoming serious, and maybe it's something like this that makes them so. But it's a good question. Does someone have to be desperate to reach there? I mean, there has to be some level of extremeness of some sort, whether it's extreme desperation, whether it's extreme desire, whether it's extreme dissatisfaction with the status quo. There has to be some form of an extreme. No one 5 steps their way into this. Okay, this is not going to be at your workshop, and this is not going to be at your mastermind meeting. This is not going to be at your school luncheon. There has to be an avalanche of some. There has to be a hammer across your head of some sort for one to be shaken out of this reverie, out of this zombified state. That's not going to come from any podcast which says, examine your own life, make sure that all podcasts are just crap. I'm sorry, no, everything is just nonsense.
You don't have to apologize to me.
Yeah, all these DVDs, YouTube channel, everything is just nonsense because the very foundation is a non-starter. And the reason for that is, let's speak truth, Mo. It might be the only place in the world where truth is being spoken, right? In this conversation between me and you. Where anything is a non-starter if it begins with the idea to send someone a message or to help them. Because people don't want to be helped. And that isn't a good thing or a bad thing. Nobody actually wants to be told what to do. And quite frankly, even if they did, and you tell them what to do, they're only appreciative that they were told, and then 5 minutes later, they go back to who they are. So in India, you have this long-standing ritual of, gurus giving these talks to literally millions of people in the audience, right? I mean, very, very large, unimaginable audiences. And everyone in their audience is sitting cross-legged and shaking, nodding their head and yes, and then, and then what do? Everyone goes back home and goes back to their life. And then what always is the criticism that you hear? Oh, you listen, but you don't act upon it.
Right.
That's just nonsense. No, first of all, you have to understand, you cannot condemn people. You have to understand the human psyche. Why is that person there? They're not there to act upon it. They're not wrong or right. They're not good or bad. They're there because it gives them some semblance of peace to go sit in that lecture hall or whatever it is. It gives them a respite from their mundane and trauma-filled life. It's an escape, okay? And that isn't wrong or right. And so no one's acting upon it because nobody wants to. What you need is a whole bunch of rifles, right? You need a whole bunch of rifles and aimed at people's heads. And with the threat of death, they might tell the truth. And the only way they'll tell the truth is first if they're forced to be in a position where they're actually looking to examine what the truth is. They don't even know why they go. So everyone's a zombie of some type.